guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be doing this New Year's resolution tab, which I'm seeing around some of the booktube channels, and I'm just going to get this over with so I don't give a long, boring conversation. So let's just get this over with. Number one is an author you'd like to read that you've never read before, and I went with Fallen Kingdoms by Morgan Rhodes. I heard some good things about it. Don't know what it's about. Going into it blind. Number two is a book you'd like to read, and I decided to go with The Story Spinner by Becky Wallace. This is, I think, the first book in the Keepers Chronicles. I don't know if it's a duology or something, but I'm just going to, let's just get this on. I don't know what it's about. All I know is it's about a girl, and people who look just like her are turning up dead or whatever. But I'm gonna find out when I read further on. Number three is a classic you'd like to read. I don't know if this counts as a classic, but I am counting it anyway, and that is The Sign of the Twisted Candles by Carolyn Keene. This book is a mystery novel, and it was either my dad or my grandmother who read this series, and I just thought that, oh, it would be a good idea, and I picked the oldest one out of the whole collection. Well, not all of the whole collection, but out of the books I have. As you can see, it is really old, very old, as you can see there. This is the original book. I get the new copies. This is the original. Next book is a book you'd like to reread. That's the one I missed. And I read a lot of her books. She's my favorite author. And that is Closed for the Season by Mary Downing Hunn. I know what this is about, so I'm just going to try giving a little synopsis, but I don't remember much. Basically, there's this new kid, he moves in, and then he meets his neighbor, and they become friends, and then they go to this spooky little abandoned amusement park. It was an abandoned amusement park. And they find out that there was this woman who was suspiciously murdered, and she's hidden a whole lot of money that this killer wants, and these boys end up getting themselves in quite a sticky situation, so they just want to find out what happened to her, and they want to solve the mystery. So I don't remember anything else that happened in this book, but I bet it's going to be great, just as great as her other books. Number 5 is a book you've had for ages and want to read. I bought this when I was in 7th grade. It was literally at the book fair that was hosted at my school, and I love book fairs, so I decided it was a good idea to go to the book fair, buy a book there, and yeah. And that book is Legend by Marie Lu. This book, I don't know what it's about, but I read her other novel, The Young Elites. The first book, I haven't gotten the second or third book, but I've read the first book and I loved it, so now I'm going to try to read this book, this first book in the trilogy, and see if I enjoy this just as much as I enjoyed Young Elites. Got my little notepad here. Okay. A big book you'd like to read. This one is considered small with the height, but it's pretty thick, so I'm considering it big. And it was actually my grandmother's, so it's still in top condition, except for a few worn out spaces. And that is Summer Storm by Catherine Hart. This was actually my grandmother's. This was my grandmother's old book. She loved reading, and I just think I would like to try and read it and see what she found so interesting about it. So I'm going to try and read it. I don't know how many pages are in here. How many pages are in this book? 476 pages. That's not much. How's that a big book if it's that much? Whatever, I'll find out. Okay. The next one is number 7. An author you've previously read and want more of. Technically, he's got more books out, and, well, 3 books that I want to get, as well as a Norse guide to mythology, and I really like him. I read the Percy Jackson series more than once, and I've only read the first book in the first book in the Heroes of Olympus series. I am not going to go there. But that is Rick Riordan. He wrote, obviously, the Percy Jackson series and the Heroes of Olympus series, but he came out with like 3 new books. There was something about Gods of Asgard for the 2. The other one was The Trials of Apollo, which is the first book in his new. Is it a series or a trilogy? I'm just gonna say series/trilogy. It's I've been wanting to read it because reading in the perspective of a god, that would be quite interesting for me. But yeah, I want to read more of Rick Riordan's books. Okay. Okay, number 8. A book you got for Christmas and would like to read. My sister bought this for me for Christmas, and I had to do a lot of convincing to get a book for Christmas, at least 2 books for Christmas. And that is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I did start this, but I didn't get hooked into it. But I think I'll get hooked into it now since I want to get on with it. I want to see what happens and everything. Because it wasn't really registering in my mind. But then again, I was reading multiple books at once. So, how can you blame me? Number 9 is a series you want to read from start to finish. My mom's friend gave this to me before she moved away, and I kept on saying how much I loved reading, and she kept on mentioning some good recommendations, and I'm thinking if she liked it, I hope I'd like it, and that is the Immortal series by Alison Noel. This book, I haven't started this book, but I'm planning on starting this book, and I'm going to start it from start all the way to finish. So I'm going to binge read the whole entire series. And it's not that much. I have it behind my computer right now, but I'll just, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 books in the series, so I'm just going to read on and see how far I've gotten. Alright, the next one is a series you want to finish that you already started. I already started a series and I only read the first book. I'm trying to read the second book, which is Betrayed. But the first book here, I think, would have to be that one series is the House of Night series by PC Cast and Kristen Cast. I've read the first book. Can't wait to read the second. That's all for now. Thank you for watching. Bye!